just say on June 21st, the 7 mayors, SLO County Board Chairman John Shoals signed the first ever SLO Regional Civility Code in public at the City County Library. And the basic tenets of the code are 5 things: that we'll listen first, respect different opinions, be courteous, disagree constructively, and debate the policy and not the person. It is a promise to hold ourselves accountable and to conduct the public's business in a respectful and inclusive manner. As Sandy said, you've probably heard about the code, but I'm going to show you a little bit of the insight of how the code came to be. As she talked about, in August of 2017, there was a group of 32 local community and political leaders in a trip organized by the Chamber went to Denver and Boulder to talk to their colleagues out there and find out what they were doing from an economic standpoint. As you know, there's a lot of things going on in our county. So we were impressed about how they were working together for the benefit of their community. So the deterioration of civility across the country and within our community poses a threat to our democracy and our civic well-being. Civility is a basic need of good governance, and without it, we are rendered ineffective in our ability to address community issues. Attention is drawn to people rather than issues, bad behavior rather than serving the community's best interests. People are discouraged from engaging and sharing ideas, and good people are discouraged from actually serving their communities, and we can do better. And while we had many conversations about public discourse and loss of public trust, most of us really chalked it up to politics and individual behaviors. But inspired by our Denver Boulder trip and motivated to change the tone and tenor of our politics, a group of elected officials decided to take action. Those elected officials included Mayor Harmon, Councilmember Pease, Supervisor John Shoals, Supervisor Debbie Arnold, and myself. This group was formed in January 2018, and we started having meetings shortly thereafter. And we began the meetings to talk about erosion of civility in public meetings in the community, and we challenged ourselves by asking a series of questions. And the most important question that we asked ourselves was, how can we work together to promote better civility amongst one another and the elected officials throughout the region? We agreed on 3 primary goals. That 1, let's unite elected officials to work together to meet a community-wide challenge. 2, that we would define common language around the civility means and why it is important and how it will be practiced. And 3, we wanted to inspire elected officials to be champions of civility. 3 strategies were employed to make sure that we could accomplish those goals. 1, SLO County Mayor's Caucus would be co-owners of a code of civility. The mayors meet monthly, and we discuss best practices and things of that nature. 2, to commit to sign, and share the code with the community at a public event. We did this in public, not in private, to demonstrate our sincerity in bringing about this change. 3 was to integrate the code in our public meetings as a standard of conduct for elected officials, and also to invite community members. And this step is really going to depend on the various cities. We wanted to leave them some individuality. Many of us already have the decorums of how we operate in public. So one idea would be to print it on the back of speaker cards. I'm sure many of you have been to public meetings. And after thoughtful discussion, we committed our thoughts to paper and the draft of the Code of Civility in order to share it with regional colleagues to start a broader discussion. So from there, we took it to the mayors, and I said the mayors meet monthly. So after 3 months, the mayors shaped, developed, embraced, and shared the code with councils. And I'll tell you, our original vision was just to have the 7 city mayors and the board chairman sign this agreement, but the mayor said, no, we need to talk to a broader audience earlier. So let's take it to the city councils. And Mayor O'Malley from Atascadero volunteered to go first, and Atascadero adopted it unanimously, and it spread from there. The mayors also said, well, why stop at city councils? How about special districts? How about school boards? And so that is part of what we're going to do as well. So now you're talking about 40 elected officials in 8 jurisdictions. The civility code actually in my city is actually posted in the city council chambers. So it's the first thing people see when they walk in, because we want to be inclusive. So in conclusion, I've been in government for more than 20 years. Yeah, I'm older than I look, I know. First, as a staff member working for city councils and administrations in the cities of Santa Maria and San Luis Obispo, and then as a Grover Beach elected official. I've been an official for 14 years in my city. I've observed government officials in hundreds of public meetings throughout the state. And most of the times, officials handle themselves in a respectful manner, making tough decisions in what can be tense environments. I am proud to have been part of this worthy endeavor. And although my term expires in December this year, this work is significant beyond any one official. It's about the offices we hold long into the future. The Civility Code is about elected officials holding themselves to a higher standard and conducting the public's business in a respectful and professional manner. That is what the public wants, and that is what the public deserves. And I'm so proud to be standing on this stage with my colleagues who were right there every step of the way. I want to give a special thanks, and I know she's not here today or this morning, is special thanks to Melissa James. Yeah, because as we know, come on, scheduling, trying to get 5 elected officials, let alone 20 together, takes monumental work. So Melissa did yeoman's work, and Molly Kern came and helped support this effort. So we hope that you will join us in changing the culture, holding us accountable as we hold ourselves accountable. Thank you.